The GN exclusive train today brings us to the eastern region, precisely Ekuapem Mampong, where Tetekwashi's cocoa farm is located. For the past 138 years and more, this farm has been in existence. How much has it contributed to the production of cocoa in Ghana? What is its relevance in the production of cocoa in Ghana today? For some historical perspectives and the answers to the questions I posed, follow me for more at the Tetekwashi's cocoa farm here in Ekuapem Mampong on GN Exclusive. So here we are at the exact location of the Tetekwashi's cocoa farm, the very first cocoa nursery in Ghana, which was planted in 1879. It actually covers a total land area of 0.38 hectares. Let's go in and see what we have. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Tetekwashi's cocoa farm.
Okay.
The first ever cocoa nursery farm in Ghana.
Okay.
This is the painting work of the late Tetekwashi who brought cocoa into Ghana.
Is that the exact face?
This is not the exact face because this one is a painting work.
Okay. So this is your first port of call when you come to the Tetekwashi's cocoa farm, and Kofi and then Akable are the caretakers here. They are taking us round now to have a look at the farm. They tell us there's actually the first seedling, the first ever plants Tetekwashi planted in this farm, which produced the seedlings that were carried out of this farm to other parts of the country to produce cocoa for Ghana. So they are taking us round now to have a look at the farm. Let's go. Ghana's cocoa has always been traced to its illustrious son, Tetekwashi. From social studies lessons in the basic schools, the story of he having swallowed a bean of cocoa from Fernanda Po and reproduces it in Ghana on his return to the country has been told to school children since his demise. That story is still being told in schools today. Okay, so I can see down there one of the original trees planted in the year 1879. Does it mean this one was planted by Tetekwashi himself?
Tetekwashi himself, yeah.
Oh, I see. So how come? It's been over 100 years and it's still here, it's not dead?
Almost about 132 years. And one thing is about this cocoa, it's very unique and very special. You see, you can look around, there's different trees, but this one, God wants us to have the history of Tetekwashi. So as soon as the old ones got off, another one will come out.
Oh, should there be a new shoot? Okay.
Yes. It's very special and very unique. You see, so this is the old one planted by Tetekwashi himself in 1879. You see,
this is the stem.
Yes.
And these were shoots that came around it to have new growth.
Yes. And you can see you have a fruit and the pods and everything around it.
How often do you harvest cocoa on this particular plant?
It's normally
like when was the last time you picked a pod of cocoa from this plant?
The last harvest was in September.
Last year September.
Last year September. And you can see another ones. The left ones will come out. It's often around December, January. You can have it, but it's not the main harvester.
Have there been any conscious effort to make sure that this particular plant doesn't die off over the years? Was there anything like that?
Yeah, the thing is, that one is very unique. You can't tell. But it's a unique thing. As soon as this one, and here you don't give fertilizer here. Don't give fet on the land. You see, it's normal, natural one. So we just protect this tree not to got off from the land. So normally when you see anything wrong, you have to call the researchers. They will come and give medicine to
the plant.
To the plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So technically, let's say this is where the seedlings for the other trees here have been picked from.
Yes.
So we pick seeds from here, then it's planted around. Then you have the other trees coming up. You tell me of another one. There's a second one around. Shall we go?
And let's go to that.
Also in the same year. Okay. This actually has some pots on it already. This is one of the 2 cocoa trees that Tete Kwashe himself originally planted in this farm. This is the second. We just left the first one. Both of them were planted in the same year. Like Kofi and Magble were telling me, there's been conscious effort over the years to make sure that these trees do not die. Often you have the cocoa research people coming around to spray pesticides around it to ward off all forms of pests that could cause its untimely death. That's how come we can see them now. Like this one already has some pods on it. It's just a matter of waiting for them to ripe and then it to be picked or it to be harvested.
So, Kofi, when you harvest the cocoa and you sell, who takes the proceeds?
When we pluck the cocoa, we dry the beans, bag and sell them, and give the money to the Tete Kwashe family.
So last year, did you harvest any?
Yes, we harvested cocoa last year.
Did you give the family any money?
Yes, although you sold the beans, the family is yet to pick up the money from us.
Meaning you have the money?
We are still keeping the money.
How much do you have from that harvest?
We have the money for 1 bag, but we keep the receipts and other documents for them.
Now, research
how about the Cocoa Research Institute? Don't they care about how the money is spent?
As for Cocoa Board, it is only the maintenance of the farm that they care about. They are not interested in the proceeds.
Let's talk about the maintenance. This farm has been here for over a century now. Whose main duty is it to maintain the place?
As for the daily maintenance of this place, I am in charge.
So, what do you do when you report to the farm every day?
On daily basis, I weed. If there's need to prune, I do that. And when the cocoa is ripe, I pluck it. If it overripes, it weakens the tree.
Does anyone pay you?
Yes, Cocoa Board pays me.
How long have you worked on the farm?
I've been here for 6 years.
What do you see as a major challenge to the farm that must be looked at?
My main challenge is the abandoned structure which was put up here on the farm to serve as a museum by the tourist authority. Later, the district assembly waded into its management, and for over 4 years now, the building has been lying idle here. We've complained, but to no avail.
Is that the only problem?
Yes, that is the only problem we have.
What about patronage of the farm?
Well, people come around, but not on daily basis.
So, how many people visited the place last year?
As for that, if we include school children, it will be around 100 people.
When they come, do you take a fee?
We used to, but now, given the building over there, if you take any money, you may have problems.
For purposes of demonstration to their visitors, they bring their tourists or visitors here to have a look at what happens in the cocoa production process. So what you see here is the drying mat. Kofi is coming to demonstrate to us how the cocoa gets to this stage on this mat, and you'll be breaking one of the cocoa pods, and then we take the seeds out. We take the seed out and dry it on the mat. So he's just broken one of the pods, picked out the fruits, the seed.
Cover it.
Why do you have to cover it? What is the essence of the covering?
This is a banana, a plantain. It's covered it for 3 days. After 3 days, it's open it.
It's a fermentation process.
It has to ferment before you dry it.
You cover it with the leaves for about 7 days. But the 7 days, the 3 days of have to move the stem, holding the beans out of it.
Why so? Why do you have to hold it like that?
Because normally when you break the pod, this stem is holding the beans. So you cover it 3 days. After 3 days, you come and move the leaves and move this stem, holding the beans, and cover it again for about 3 or 4 days.
So by the 3rd day, you expect that when you come, the seeds would have fallen off the stem, if I should call it like that.
It won't fall out of it, but you rather have to move it.
You take it out.
Yes, you take it out.
Why? But you've just been able to take it out.
But
right
normally,
now.
this is how it was.
That's how you do it. Okay.
So as soon as you move, you can see this color will change. It's into a brownish color. And
on the 3rd day.
On the 3rd day.
Okay.
So when you move the stem, holding the beans out of it, they have to cover it again for about 4 days. On the 4th day, you come and move the leaves out and dry it. Yes.
On the 4th day, what happens? Let's say that will be 7. On the 7th day, what happens to the seed?
The seed will change into brownish color, and this
slime around it will go.
It will dry small. So when you move it, and you have to put it on the mat for drying process, and it should be on an open space to get the direct sunlight.
Why must it ferment? Why do you have
normally when you go to the restaurant, they use this one to do cocoa butter and other things. They will put it in a box. On the 3rd day, they will turn it. This oil or surrounding it will come out, and they use it for another production, other cocoa butter or cocoa liquor and other things. So, but here you don't have this processing plant here, so you just dry it off
to get those
the beans,
parts out. Then you dry it on the mat.
Dry it on
from
the mat.
Here, okay. So
from here, you go on the mat to dry it.
When it's properly dry, then you bag it.
Yes, but normal processing, you have to dry it on an open space where you get a direct sunlight. It has to be around. You have to turn it some hours. You have to turn it until the drying process will finish.
It's over.
Yes.
And that is within 7 days, or that is
the fermentation process is 7 days. But here it can be on 3 or week.
Depending on the weather and how much
Yes.
sunshine you have
Yes.
to fasten the drying
Yes.
process. My team members tell me the seed is very nice, so I'm trying it to see. See Andrew. Okay, that's true. I can confirm that. I am tasting cocoa beans from the Tekwashi's cocoa farm. If you haven't tried one, you should be coming here.
It's been over a century and more since Tete Kwashi's demise. How has this farm fared? The story is checkered, but an exclusive meeting with Kofi Nyaku, current caretaker of the farm, exposed a rather emotional and touching story. The factor and father Kwame Asumini used to be the chief caretaker. He is now visually impaired. What exactly did you do when you took over the maintenance of the farm to bring it to its current state?
What I did exactly was to apply manure and tend it well until Cocoa Board took over. They are currently managing it.
With all apologies, now that you can't see for you to be able to assess the current state of the farm, what exactly would you wish to be done on the farm?
I wish the government will personally take over to maintain it. They have already employed my son as the caretaker, Kofi Nyaku. He is now tending the farm.
Nana, when we came, you were crying. Why?
There is no problem.
If there's no problem, then why are you crying?
As for sickness and death, it is inevitable.
So you are crying because of your ill health that you can't see?
Yes.
But hasn't Cocoa Board assisted you in your medicals?
When I first went to them, they couldn't get anybody who could take over. The farm was just there. It was just recently that they called me and gave me some money to start the treatment process. The medication has just started, but the operation is yet to be done.
What do you wish to tell us to be told on the television for authorities to hear?
Yes, I have something on my heart. As for death, it is inevitable. But now I feel helpless. I am helpless in this life. I need help. If the Cocoa Board can help, I will be grateful. I want to know if I have to go back to the Cocoa Board or not. As for death, it is inevitable. We need help in our everyday life. It is human beings that need help, and I need help. That is my biggest request. We need help in our everyday life. It is human beings that need help, and I need help. That is my biggest request.
And he would love that authorities of the Cocoa Board would come and give him some form of assistance so he can get back his health and go about his everyday chores. And for the farm, he would wish that proper care is given to that farm there so that after him, posterity can still enjoy all there is to know about the Tete Kwashi Cocoa Farm here in Ghana. This is Joynews exclusive.
These things I am saying is of great concern to me. When Cocoa Board engaged me, they were not paying until recently. When they started paying me, then my son succeeded me. He is now taking care of the farm.
one facility caretakers hoped could have brought life back to the farm is an over 10-year abandoned visitor center. It was an incredible revelation to the team that a huge investment such as this has become a white elephant left to the mercy of the weather.
We are at the supposed visitor center, which is on the left wing of the Tetekwashi's cocoa farm. This building, according to Kofi and Blay, was established or was completed in 2006. 10 years on, the building has never had any proper management or use. It's practically been left to rot. If you look a little bit up, the roofing, there are leakages all over.
Almost all the doors leading to the rooms of the facility were under lock and key.
Okay. All the doors to this building have all been locked. There's no access. Kwame and Akable told me there's one entrance at the back, which we are hoping would probably give us access. Locked. This one too locked. This place too gone. I'm standing by another sorry site, which appears to be a plaque bearing the original inscription, address and location of those who started the operation, or probably the contractors of these facilities here. For what we can see here, it's been washed away either by rain or the weather, obviously due to the abandonment.
The team went around it. We found a back door giving us access to at least one of the rooms.
This is one of the exits to the visitor center. We are able to access this door because it's rotten. The door, which is supposed to be protecting the entrance here, has rotten away. This is the actual lock. Indicating its current state, telling us actually that this facility has been left unused for a very long time, and that's how come this door in particular has been broken down. You look around here, you see all of this part has been eaten away by ants. This is Joynews exclusive here at Tetekwashi's Cocoa Farm. From here, we are going to the Jubilee Farm, an extension of the original land.
As part of the country's Jubilee anniversary, an extension of this nursery was created by the then government. This is Joynews exclusive. We are now at the Jubilee Farm, and I have here with me Mr. Sechi Bismarck. He's the foreman on the farm here, and he'll be telling us a little bit about the farm. Good afternoon, Mr. Bismarck.
Fine afternoon, madam.
What is the idea behind the Jubilee Farm?
Okay. The idea is that we have a Tetekwashi cocoa farm here, and the chief in this town came and they said they want to expand the farm.
Have you ever harvested cocoa yields here?
Since 2007, we have harvested more.
When you harvest and sell, where does the money go to?
You don't sell it here. They came and correct the post to Tafo Creek for experiment.
Okay.
Yeah. The chief executive's wife who came and planted this
of cocoa.
Yeah.
And that was in
2007. Yeah.
Okay. This giant edifice behind me is referred to as the Jubilee Cocoa Farm Center, supposed to be a reception center where visitors and tourists to the farm can relax and refresh themselves. Managers of this farm tell me this building has been left standing for the past 4 years, not knowing its fate. This is Joynews exclusive. What is this?
Shopping center. Restaurant. This restaurant. Yeah.
Okay, so when visitors come, they can stay there and eat and refresh themselves.
And this is the kitchen.
Okay, where the cooking, blah, 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 and serving would take place.
And this one is for the security.
Security people?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice place. This is supposed to be, is it back entrance or main entrance?
This is the main entrance.
Main entrance to the resting area. Okay, so this is how it looks like in here, the visitor center. According to Mr. Sechi, the area used to be a farmland for cocoa. The place, you would have cocoa seedlings all over here, but because of this establishment, the place has been cleared for the building to be raised, and this is what we are seeing here. And it's been here for the past 4 years, and they can't tell what is happening with this building currently, so they are just waiting to see what authorities will do next. You're watching GN Exclusive on Joynews on Multi TV. This is the second part of this edition regarding Tetekwashi's cocoa farm in Ikweapimambo. We are here at Cocoa Board to speak to authorities about the relationship they have with Mr. Kwame Asumeni and his son. And I am here with Mr. Noah Amenya, who is the Public Affairs Director of Cocoa Board. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to Joynews on Multi TV.
Thank you.
Are you able to tell us if there is any interest of Cocoa Board in the Tetekwashi's cocoa farm in Ikweapimambo?
Yes, we have interest there, and interest is principally that of historical. We know that Tetekwashi brought cocoa to Ghana, and so the farm that he established, we should be interested in it in order to be able to reference it whenever we are talking about the history. And that is why Cocoa Board has interest in that.
I met Mr. Kwame Asumeni, an over 80-year-old man who claims to have catered for the farm about 20 years now, and he has retired. He's blind. His son is not taking care of the farm. Is there any relationship between him and Cocoa Board, as a working relationship?
Well, there is no working relationship between Cocoa Board and the man in question. The farm is a private farm owned by the family of Tetekwashi. And so upon successions, they have been able to maintain the farm right from when it was established after Tetekwashi left till date. Somewhere along the line, the farm, part of it had been cut down, and you see a lot of developments around it. But then for historical purposes, Cocoa Board identified the farm and decided to protect what is left. And so it has been fenced as a protection so that people do not encroach, for us to maintain part of that farm to refer to as history. Now, for the man in question, may have continued what his forebears also did, of maintaining a farm that belonged to the family. When Cocoa Board came in to fence the property, they decided that no, then there should be someone to take care of the place. And the family offered, this man in question offered a son. So in order to help the man and the family, Cocoa Board employed the son permanently as a staff to keep on the farm, to continue what his father was doing, and then also to give him technical assistance by asking Cocoa Research Institute to oversee the management of the farm. So since then, Cocoa Research Institute will go there and then see to replanting where they need to, and then also for pest and disease control purposes. I would like to establish that the proceeds from the farm is not given to Cocoa Research, it is to the family. So it's like the farm belongs to the family. They farm it, they keep the produce, they sell it for their own upkeep. But in order to support the historical reference, Cocoa Board does the management through Cocoa Research Institute and pays a family member to be able to continue to keep the farm.
Why does he get that impression that it is the responsibility of Cocoa Board to take care of his upkeep and recognition? Just as you have explained, his son has already taken over formally with Cocoa Board as a caretaker. Where is that the old man getting this impression from? Yes,
the family of Tetekwashi, because Cocoa Board will want to also reward or acknowledge the efforts and contribution of Tetekwashi to the cocoa industry and to the economy of Ghana for that matter. Cocoa Board established a hospital for the people of Mampong and named it Tetekwashi Hospital. For the family members, from time to time, they have been writing to Cocoa Board for financial support in various things that they do. And we also recognize that every year we give them something, sometimes in cash and sometimes in kind. If they have to undertake some special activity and they appeal to Cocoa Board, we readily support them financially to do that. So for the old man to request such support that we should take care of him. Yes, Cocoa Board had done that in the past. They told him that he can visit Cocoa Clinic and we will take care of him. He has done so. He's even gone to Kolebu and Mampong Hospital for treatment, and the bill was settled by Cocoa Board. The son was employed principally so that he can be paid officially. If you look at the job that he's doing at the farm is just a very small farm, about 0.3 of an acre. It's a very small farm, so it's just for the historical purpose. But we are paying the son to be there simply because we want him to take care of his old man who had continued looking after the farm till at this stage that the boy had come in. And so that is a huge contribution of Cocoa Board to the family, that we keep a member who will be on our payroll and have all the benefits so he can take care of the father and the immediate family. The Jubilee Farm is a plot that or a parcel of land that had been purchased by Cocoa Board to establish a cocoa plantation, so that tourists who would come along to the Tetekwashi farm, because it's a small farm, who want to look at a bigger cocoa farm can then move to the Jubilee Farm. And so that was established in the Jubilee year, Ghana's Jubilee. That's why it is named Jubilee Farm. The center or the buildings that you see there was to make it possible for people to even move in there and maybe have a conference there, have a meeting there. As they do that, they will engage with the farm and see and learn at first hand how the cocoa plantation looks like. You look closely to the farm, you will see that some of the trees have names of very important dignitaries there. So it was when we were establishing the farm, as they visit Ghana and we take them along, they plant so that that tree will bear their name. And most of them are happy to come back to see how that tree had performed. The facility there, the thinking of Cocoa Board is that it will act as a museum to keep certain things about cocoa industry in there to attract people. So it's like developing cocoa tourism to bring people to want to know cocoa. So we are still developing it, and we think that when we are able to put all the ideas together and finish the activity, then that place will be more vibrant, but it is entirely a Cocoa Board facility. So Cocoa Board would then think of how to run the place.
Back in Accra, I sought answers on the fate of this building, and I was met with the bureaucratic responses. I first called the Ghana Tourism Authority on phone with the hope to arrange for an interview, but I was referred to the regional office in Kufuridua. When I reached the Kufuridua office on phone, a female voice that responded to the call first appreciated me for bringing the state of the facility to their notice, and will do well to attend to it later, telling me her boss was not yet in. When I impressed on her that I needed an interview and was not reporting the issue to them, she asked me to hold on while she hands me over to another person to speak to. About a minute later, a female voice engaged me on the phone, introducing herself as Bertha. After hearing my reason for placing the call, she told me to go to the Ekuapem District Assembly and ask of the DCE. When I expressed my misgivings concerning the way I was being tossed about, starting from the head office, she offered to give me the DCE's number without his name, insisting I should just call him because they are responsible for the maintenance and management of the visitor center. She added the place was established by the Ghana National Tourism Development Company and has been let out to an individual to manage. The assembly, therefore, is the best place to seek for all the answers to my questions. I placed a call to the Ekuapem North District Chief Executive, George Opariado. He picked upon the second ring. After hearing me out on the phone, he also referred me back to the Tourism Ministry, indicating the Ministry of Tourism is in charge. The Assembly has, however, been expecting that it will be handed over to them for management and maintenance, but that has not happened yet. So until that time, when the issue surrounding the visitor center is over, the building remains just as good as one of the numerous abandoned state properties established with the taxpayers' money and left to rot.